true, and it's always true, all the time. And God says to His people, if you think you're going to just stay around the pole, gather around the pole, and stay in your nice little 6-man tents, or your 100-man tents, or your 1,000-man tents, or your 17,000-man tent, you're wrong. Pick up the pegs and stretch them out, because so long as there's anybody on planet Earth that doesn't know me, so long as there's anybody on planet Earth that has to pay for their own sin, it's not big enough. There's not enough people, because I've come to die for the world, and until the world comes into my family, until the world understands that only I give life, only I give forgiveness. Until the world understands that you as my people have to continue to be aggressive and do new things. You have to continue to expand your territory, because my people are without a home. And I want them desperately by the pole. I want them, this is what tonight is. This is what Crossroads Westside is. It's not about having a bigger church. It's not about you having less of a drive to Oakley or Florence. Interesting, I heard some people tonight say, I don't want to leave Florence. I guess you were going from the west side of Florence. It's not about you having a less drive or Crossroads getting bigger. No, it's about there's people over here who need a covering. There's people here on the west side who need a covering. Not necessarily the covering of a home church that speaks the language they understand. They need a covering of Jesus. They need a place to find grace. They need a place to find truth. They need a place where someone will tell them things that other folks won't tell them. Where some people will be accepted, where maybe even other churches might not accept them. That's why we're here tonight. And so what we're going to do is something that's become part of our heritage. We're going to pray for our friends and people here on the west side that we want to see come to know faith through the ministry of Crossroads, or any ministry at all. But we're going to ask God, if you're not going to use any other ministry, we're up for being used here. And so at the moment we've got Sharpie pens and buckets that are all up and down here, Sharpie pens. And what you'll do is you'll come down and you get a Sharpie, and you're just going to write prayers, sacred prayers, on walls here. I'm going to tell you where you're not going to write them. You're not going to write them on seats. You're not going to write them on the floor, because this floor we're still going to use for a while. There's things that we're going to be tearing out, like the drop ceiling in this room will be torn out. There's a bunch of stuff being torn out in rehab, but there's some things we're going to keep for a while. The floor is one of those. Please don't write on the floor. Don't write the doors. I think we're keeping the doors the way they are. So that leaves, you want to write on any of the white walls all the way along here, or the stage, the front of the stage, anything in here. That's totally great. And those of you in the edges, as you know, we don't have any aisles that are going up and down the edges. So once you write, if you want to stay in here for a bit, you can here. Please don't clog over there. We're going to have some worship going on. And then as you exit, we're going to have different stations all around the building that give, I think there's renderings on the photos. Do you have renderings on the photos of what that area is going to look like?
Yeah, there's vision and maps of all the space we're going to use.
So as you go out that way, you'll have a little tour of spaces we're going to use, sort of what it's going to look like.